All right, welcome to a special live update of my Mets Realm theme team in Out of the Park Baseball 25, the perfect team mode. This is it's been it was a crazy ending to the last season because I thought I had a chance at winning the title, but fell short by a sweep, and there was a good team waiting for me with 95 wins, so it was a very strong wildcard team. And so, but still, even though we had a tough go in that championship, we made it to the Bronze League, and this is the first update of the 2026 season of my team. And so, as always, what I do is I hide the scores, and then I go through the stats, and then you can guess what my standings are in your head, or pause the video if you're watching on YouTube. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing right here. So let's go to our stats. We'll start with pitching. Starting pitching. Here we go. So we're off to a good start with our pitching. We have Bobby Ojeda in my first spot. This has been my I will say this has been my rotation since the beginning. And I should also say that I usually update it a little earlier, but I decided to just push it to today because I was a little tired last night, and so the season is a little further along than I usually do for the first update, but it's not that big of a deal because the next update is after the season, and then the third update is post playoffs. So let's get started. So Bobby Ojeda is my ace and in the first spot. So has a 2.77 ERA. And I will say that he's been in the league leaders of ERA for most of the season. So let's go to his card and see what he's been doing. So pitching stats. Here we go. So he started off the season giving up 4 earned runs, and that kind of scared me. And yeah, I was really, really worried that he was just gonna sink in this league, because that sometimes happens in this game where you got a great team and then you move up and then reality happens, then your team stinks. But that's not what happened. He gave up 4 earned runs, then gave up 1, 2, then 1, then gave up 4 again, then 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, then 5 earned runs. And that was May 24th, and that gave him a 3.03 ERA. And then he put up a 0, 8 2/3, which was amazing. And then 2 earned runs, and then another 0. And then 5 earned runs, which put him at 2.96. And then he gave up 4 earned runs on June 19th, and that made his ERA 3.09. And then since then, he's given up 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, and his ERA is now 2.77. And so the ERA is looking pretty good, and I'm happy with Bobby Ojeda. And he was also on the All-Star team, so good on him. So back to our pitching. Here we go. And in my second starter spot is Frank Viola, 3.39 ERA. His ERA has been kind of fluctuating as of late. So let's take a look. He's got 12 wins, by the way, at the top of the league with wins. And so let's go to Frank Viola pitching stats. So he started off the season giving up 6 earned runs with a 10 ERA. And so I was like, I don't know about this guy. He's causing, he's already like Ojeda, like I said, sometimes in this league, when they give up early, you get this feeling that you don't belong here. And so, since I had two not great starts from Ojeda and Viola back to back, made me think. And so, 6 earned runs, not great start, but then he put up a 0, then gave up 2, 2, then 3, then 2, then 0, then 0. And then that brought us to May 19th. So that 0, that second 0, which was May 14th, was that put him at a 2.30 ERA, which is very good. And then he put up a 4, which was not great. And yeah, not great with a 4, and then came back with a 2 earned runs, 1 earned run, 3, which had put his ERA at a 2.65 ERA, which is still not bad, and that was June 5th. And then 5 earned runs, which was a bad start, and that put his ERA at 3.01. And that was June 10th. And then he gave up a 3, which was so-so. 3 earned runs, then 5 again, which is like, all right, now this is starting to look like a pattern. Now I'm worried here. But then he came back with 2 earned runs, 2 earned runs, which put his ERA at 3.27. And then a 4 earned runs on July 6th to put his ERA at 3.38. And then he followed up with back-to-back 3 earned runs. So he's sitting at a 3.39 ERA after July 18th. So not terrible, not definitely a second starter or third starter kind of line at the moment. So not bad. And let's go back. There we go. All right. So now we go to our third starter, Jose Quintana, with a 2.79 ERA. He's been the most surprising pitcher of all of them. And so let's go to, he's got 8 wins, 6 losses, 122 innings, and let's take a look at his pitching performance. So first of all, he started with an 8 innings, and 0 earned runs. So right off the bat, he's already doing very good. Then he followed up with a 3, and then a 1, and then a 2. 2 earned runs over 6, and that put him at a 1.98 ERA. And then after that, 6 earned runs, and that's when I was starting to feel like, maybe he's coming back down to earth a bit, and he's not as ace potential as he was sort of appearing in the very beginning. And then he followed up with a 1 earned run over 7, then a 0, then 3, then a 0, then a 1, then a 0, then a 0, and that was June 6th, and that put his ERA at 1.92. And then after that second 0, he gave up 5 earned runs on June 11th, and that put his ERA at 2.30. And yeah, not bad. This is 1 bad start, nothing to worry about. Then he put up 2 zeros and a complete game shutout, and then 8 innings with 0, and that put his ERA at 1.92. And then after that, 4 2/3 and 5 earned runs, and that's when I was like, oh, now we're starting to see the big numbers again, and that's a problem. So he's at 2.26 here on June 27th, and then he followed that up with 2 earned runs over 5.1, and then 5 earned runs on July 7th, making his ERA 2.61. And then he was an all-star, pitched in the all-star game right here. So he is my second pitching all-star. And then he gave up 4 earned runs on July 17th. So that made it a 2.79 ERA. 4 earned runs. So yeah, so Quintana, I'm starting to get a little worried with that 5 earned runs, then 2, then 5, then 0, then 4. Starting to look like a bad pattern forming, but hopefully he turns it around. He sort of finds his early form again, and he just does much better moving forward. So, but even with all that, he is still I think he's still in what the league leaders for ERA. So we'll see. All right, so let's where are we going? We're going back to the pitching. Okay. And now we go to our 4th starter, Ron Darling. Not sure what to expect from him, but really shocking and surprised. We got a 6 wins, 5 losses, 2.91 ERA. Definitely more than I could have asked for. And so let's go to his pitching line. And all right, so he started the season really well. 7 innings, 1 earned run. Then he gave up 4, then 5. And that put his ERA at 4.35. And that's when I was like, I don't know if he's going to be in the rotation for that much longer, if he's going to be like this. So then he put up 1 earned run, 2 earned runs, 1 earned run, 3 earned runs, 1 earned run with a complete game. And that was on May 16th. And that put his ERA at 2.79. And then the next game, he gave up 5 earned runs over 3.2 innings. And I was like, all right, this is good. This is what he's going to be. And then he put up 2 zeros, and then a 5 earned runs, then 1 earned run, then 0, then 4, and that made his ERA 3.13. And then let's see, and then June 28th. He pitched 7 innings and 1 run, 7.1, 1 run, then 3, then 2, and then 0 on July 20th. And now his ERA is 2.91. And can't say anything bad about him. I'm getting a lot more than I thought from him at this stage in the game. Yeah, he's going to be not the most consistent person, but if he's going to be pitching like this, then he's going to keep his rotation spot as far as I'm concerned. So, can't complain. All right, now let's go back to the starter, and Sean Manaea. 7 wins, 6 losses, 3.12 ERA. So let's go and take a look at his line. He's had an interesting season. So let's see. His first start, he gave 4 earned runs. And I was like, all right, well, he's the 5th starter. Not terrible, but kind of expected. And then he followed that up with 2 earned runs over 4.1. Then 1 earned run. Then 1 earned run. And then that made his ERA 3.32. Then he gave up 4. And I was like, all right. That makes the ERA 4.10. And then he put up 2 1s. 2 1 ERA starts and 1 earned run starts, and that made his ERA 3.20. and then he gave up 4 and then 5, and then I was like, all right, this is probably what he's going to be. And I might have to find a better 5th starter than Sean Manaea. And this was on May 28th. And then, so that was his ERA at 4.17. Then after that, put up 0 earned runs, then 2, then 1, then 0, then 2, then 1, and then 7, and then 3 earned runs over 7.1. And so that sits him at a 3.12 ERA at the moment as the 5th starter. Can't complain. He's keeping his job, and definitely a lot better than I thought he would. So let's go back to the pitching. So that's great on the starting pitching side, and we are number 1 in the league in ERA, if you are wondering. So, okay, now we go to our bullpen. Another good positive news, more positive news to report here. So let's look at our closer position. You'll notice something different. I have Brooks Raley as my closer, and I have Brooks Raley as my closer. That's because I demoted Roger McDowell to the 7th inning. The 7th inning, yeah. And so let's take a look at Brooks Raley with a 2.84 ERA. So Brooks Raley's got, here we are. So put up 2 zeros to start, and then he gave up 1 run in an outing. Then he put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros in a row up until May 2nd, and that put his ERA at 0.93. And then he gave up 2 earned runs on May 5th, and that made it 2.70. And then followed that with 5 straight zeros, and that made it 1.98 ERA. And then he gave up 1 run in an outing. Then he had another string of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 zeros in a row. Amazing stuff there. And he had a 1.69 ERA until he gave up 2 earned runs on June 17th. And then he, he had 3 zeros in a row. And then his ERA kind of ballooned a bit from 2.13 to 3.46 on June 28th with 4 earned runs. And like I've said before, when you're looking at relievers, you have to kind of look at it more as like, all right, if he has 1 bad outing and he has done great and then his ERA balloons up, that could sort of give a false perception of how bad he's really been or how good he's really been. So you do have to really keep that in perspective, that this was a 3.646 ERA, but just 1 bad outing here. And then he put up 1, 2, 3, 6 zeros in a row. So he's been a very good pitcher, relief pitcher for us, and so can't complain. He's sitting at, let me see his stat line. What's his stats right now? Season, he's got, where are his holds? Where are his holds? Do I have his holds? Pitching stats. He's got 10 saves, and I don't see a holds listed. Maybe it's on the pitching screen. Let's see. Brooks Raley. I don't. Oh, holds. 14 holds. Very impressive. So, yeah. And then we got Adam on. So Brooks Raley is also an all-star, by the way. And you can see that right here. Oh, wait. Not this time. He wasn't an all-star this time. He was an all-star here. Ottavino with a 2.10 ERA was an all-star. So here we go with Ottavino. And yeah, here's his all-star badge right here. So let's take a look at Ottavino. It was either going to be Raley or Ottavino as the closer after I decided to move McDowell out of the spot. So I decided to go with Raley, but Ottavino could have been in because he's having a good season this year. So he started off the season with 4 straight zeros. And then he gave up 2 earned runs on April 20th. That put his ERA at 6 actually. And then he followed that up with 5 zeros. That put his ERA at 2.45. Then he gave up an earned run on May 1st. Made his ERA 2.89. And then, then he put up 2 zeros and then an earned run. That made it 3.09. And then he had a huge string of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 straight zeros to make his ERA 1.52. And then he gave up 3 earned runs on June 20th. That made his ERA 2.55. And now he's put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. That brought it down to 2.10. And then he gave up 2 earned runs in the All-Star game, which is why he has an 18 ERA there, because it doesn't really count for much. So yeah, he's putting up zeros, and he's probably been the best. He's probably been slightly better than Raley, but I decided to put Raley in there because I just wanted to. I don't know. I just don't trust Ottavino. Raley was good the last 2 seasons, so just comes down to that. But if Raley falters, then Ottavino will be in there. So that's that. All right, so now we go to Roger McDowell, who was the closer to start the season, but ended up losing it. So let's take a look. All right. So he started off the season terribly with 1 earned run, 2, 2, 2, 2, then 1. So that's, let's see, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10 earned runs in his first 6 appearances, starting him off in the season with a 22.5 ERA. And that includes blowing 1, 2, 3, 4 saves of those 6. So that's not a very good start, and that's what got me very, very nervous to start the season, because I didn't get that start from Ojeda and Viola They started off slow in their first start, then it kind of settled in, but he was blowing saves, so I was really, really nervous. But then he put up a 0 on April 23rd, and I was like, all right, I'm going to stick it out. Then he put 3 zeros in a row, then a 1 earned run that made his ERA 14.14. And then he put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros that made his ERA 7.24. Then he gave up another earned run that made his ERA 7.53, and then he put up more zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 zeros in a row, making his ERA 4.70. And then he gave up an earned run on June 10th, making his ERA 4.94. And then he put up a 0 his next appearance. And then he gave up an earned run the following appearance. And then 2 earned runs the next appearance after that, making his ERA 5.54. And then he put up 2 zeros and then gave up another 2 earned runs with making his ERA 5.59. And actually, I don't know if I'm trying to remember when I took him off the closer role, but that's a good question. I'm trying to remember when I took him off the closer role, but I might have been right around here after that second after he gave up 2 earned runs, or one of these, maybe it was the loss here. But in any case, I decided to make the change and go with Brooks Raley as the closer. And for some reason, McDowell starts the season off bad. He also ended the season pretty bad for me, so I had to make a change. I don't know. I'm probably gonna stick with him in this spot for a while. But if Raley falters and Ottavino falters, then McDowell might get his job back. You never know. But for now, this is what it's gonna be. And let's go to our other bullpen, folks. All right, so there's another sim. We're going to, all right, we can do it live, but as I've told you, we got the scores hidden. Let's see, the ERA has changed. I don't know. All right, so let's go to Orozco with a 2.15 ERA and 5 saves. And he's my middle reliever. Let's see. So he starts off the season putting up 3 zeros. Then he gave an earned run May 21st, making his ERA 1.80. And then he put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight zeros, making his ERA 0.96. And then the next appearance, he gave up 3 earned runs, making his ERA 3.86. Followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros in a row, and making his ERA 2.63. Yeah, 2.63. And then he gave up an earned run on May 31st, putting his ERA at a 3.21, and then 3 zeros, followed by another earned run, making it 3.24. And then he put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zeros in a row, making his ERA 2.05. And then he gave up an earned run on July 8th, making his ERA 2.30, followed by 2 zeros, making his ERA 2.15. So he's been a really solid reliever for us, and I could probably move him up to like a setup or closer position, but since this is what he's doing pretty good, I'm just going to keep him just like this. So, not going to mess with him. Alright, let's go back to the pitching. And then we go to Danny Frisella, another interesting middle reliever with a 2.63 ERA. Alright, let's take a look at him. And he's putting up zeros to start the season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros to start the season. And then he gave up 2 earned runs on April 27th, followed by 3 straight zeros, and then an earned run, making his ERA 3.12, followed by a 0, and then 3 earned runs, making his ERA 5.06, followed by a 0, followed by another earned run, making his ERA 5.25. And that's when I was kind of on the fence about keeping him in the bullpen, because he was not where I needed him to be. As he was starting to be very shaky and unreliable, so yeah, I wasn't quite sure about him. But then he put up 3 more zeros, making his ERA 3.94, and then 2 earned runs in a row on May 31st, making his ERA 4.42, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 zeros in a row, putting him at a 2.79 ERA on June 23rd. And then the next appearance gave up an earned run and put his ERA at 3.10. Then he put up 2 more zeros, and then another earned run on July 4th, and that was a 3.13 ERA. And then since then, he's putting up zeros in 6 straight appearances, and that's why he sits at 2.63 ERA. So he's doing pretty good as of late. Can't complain too much. So Danny Frisella keeps his job, and he's working out pretty well for me right now. Can't complain. All right, let's go back to the pen. And now we look at Bill Pulsifer, my long reliever. This is the position that is probably going to change first. Again, I should say, compared to everything else, because it's the long reliever position. So it's, he's got a 5.11 ERA, and K9 is only 4.4, which is pretty low. But let's go take a look at Pulsifer. So, started off the season giving up 4 earned runs over 2 innings in a long relief. He's a long reliever, so just need him to eat up innings and, we just need him to eat up a lot of innings and not waste the bullpen. But he started off with 4 earned runs and 2 earned runs that made him start at an 18 ERA, and then put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros in a row, making it 5.06. And then he gave up 4 earned runs, putting his ERA at 7.71, and then 2 zeros and another earned run, then a 0, then a 2, then a 0, then 2, 1, 1, and that made his ERA 6.20, so that was not great. Then he gave up 2 zeros, and then 3, then 1, and then 2 zeros. So he's sitting at a 5.11 ERA, and probably, so he's not going more than 2 innings most of the time, and that's kind of a problem. So let me see. Strategy. We're going to actually change his strategy as a reliever. Let's see. What do we do? Hook as reliever. Slow. We're going to increase the slow slider on Mr. Pulsifer and see how that works. So he can eat up more innings. And, yeah. So let's go back, see our pen, and we've got our specialist now. Turk Wendell with a 1.05 ERA and 25 innings. Let's take a look. What's going on here? There we go. All right. There we go. So he started off the season putting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros and then on April 20th, he gave up an earned run to make his ERA 2.08. And then he put up a lot of zeros in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wait, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I think it was like 21 here, maybe. Yeah, it might have been 21 plus like 2 or 3 more, so like 23 straight appearances with zeros. Insane. And he was sitting at a 0.46 ERA, and then he gave up an earned run on June 27th. So I can tell you he didn't give up an earned run until from April 26th to June 27th. Pretty insane. And then that earned run put him at a 0.89 ERA, and then he put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros, and then he gave up an earned run in this last appearance, actually. The one that I just simulated as I was doing this recording. So he's at a 1.05 ERA now, so not terrible. All right, let's see. Now we go to Jake Diekman. He's got a 3.05 ERA and a 9.1 strikeout ratio. He's my specialist versus left-handed, plus he's also the middle reliever, so as a secondary role. So you can't see that on the screen, but I had to move the secondary roles off the screen to make this screen look better. So let's go to Jake Diekman. And let's see. So Jake Diekman started off putting up 4 zeros and then 1 earned run on April 29th. That made his ERA 2.08. And then he put up 2 zeros and then an earned run on May 11th. And that made it ERA 3.00. And let's see. Then he put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros in a row. And that made his ERA 1.85. And then he gave up an earned run, followed by a 0, then 2 earned runs. And that ballooned his ERA up to 3.97. That was on June 3rd. And then he put up 3 zeros and then an earned run on June 13th, making his ERA 3.45. Then he put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros in a row, making his ERA 2.66. And then he gave up an earned run on July 19th, making his ERA 3.05. So he's actually been a little bit better than his ERA kind of says he is. So he's the right-handed specialist. No, he's the left-handed specialist, I should say. Yeah, he's the left-handed specialist. And also a middle reliever as a secondary role. So our pitching has been great. And the one thing I forgot to say is that I changed my stadium. I will show you. Not right now, actually. But my stadium is Citi Field. And so that is a pitcher's ballpark. And that's why the pitching is doing pretty good, I think. One of the reasons. But unfortunately, the byproduct of that decision is that my hitting isn't quite as good. And I think it has to do with the ballpark as well. So let's go to our lineup now. So let's go to, let's see. One second here. All right, let's look at this starting lineups now, and I'm going to change to my special little screen here so you can see my versus righty and versus lefty lineup. So I've versus righties, I got Bader, McEwing, Bader playing left, McEwing in shortstop, Dom Smith playing first, Alonso fourth DH, McNeil fifth second base, Francisco Alvarez playing catcher at 6, Starling Marte in right field at 7, Howard Johnson in batting 8th. I had to move him down. He's at third base, and Jay Payton in center field batting 9th. Lefties versus lefty. Roger Cedeno playing left field, batting first. McEwing second, third base. McNeil third, second base. Francisco Alvarez fourth, catcher. Out of Pete Alonso's fifth, and he's DH. Starling Marte, right field, and he is batting 6. Ed Kranepool, first base, and he's batting 7th. Harrison Bader in center at batting 8th, and Jose Reyes at shortstop batting 9th. So that is my lineup. So let's go to our stats now. Let's see what our stats look like. So if this is your first time on my channel or watching this, I'm keeping the stats a bit abbreviated, the most important stats that people care about, like home runs, RBIs, average, and stuff like that. So just to make it easier to read. So Duffy Dyer is at the bottom here. And yeah, so. All right, so let's see where we want to. Let's go to our right-handed lineup first. We can split versus righties. Do I want to do a split versus? No, let's just do overall average. Let's not do a split. Okay, we can do overview this way. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll sort it by average. So Cedeno's got 2 homers, 20 RBIs, 24 runs, 296 average, 16 stolen bases. I actually don't remember if I had him in the lineup at the end of last season. I might have put him in the lineup. But anyway, I have him in left field as a platoon player this season. So he's batting 296 against, I want to see, let me see. He's versus lefty, 85 at-bats, 318 versus righty. He's got 104 at-bats and 270. So 318 versus lefty, 279 versus righty. I might have to make him an everyday player again. So maybe we can make that change during this stream, or I could do it another time. We'll see. So let's go back to lineup. All right. So McNeil batting 286 with 2 homers, 35 RBIs, and let's see, 8 stolen bases. You can't see those stolen bases on the screen, in case you're wondering. He's got 14 doubles. And so, yeah, McEwing's batting 285 with 8 homers, 30 RBIs, 41 runs, and only 2 stolen bases. He's got 17 doubles, though, not bad. Harrison Bader, interesting one. He's got 10 stolen bases, 6 caught. He's got 5 homers, 26 RBIs, and 35 runs, batting 271. Dom Smith, he's batting 269, and he's got 6 homers, 28 RBIs, and 21 doubles. Not bad there. And then we got Jose Reyes. He's got 13 stolen bases and caught 4 times. He's got a 261 average. 3 home runs, 21 RBIs, and 27 runs. Let's see his lefty-righty stats. He's actually not batting particularly great. He's batting 260 against both. So that's kind of disappointing. All right, Francisco Alvarez batting 249. And he's got 11 homers, 41 RBIs, and let's see, 36 runs, 12 doubles. Let's say Pete Alonso. I should say Reyes has 6 triples, which is impressive. Pete Alonso batting 240, but he's got 23 homers and 60 RBIs. And 47 runs, below average, obviously, but hopefully you can get that up there. And then we've got Ed Kranepool, who I was using as a platoon, but he's actually not hitting very well. Versus lefties, he's got a 188 average, and versus righties, where he's batted 50 times, he's got a 320 average, so versus righties, I mean, he's got a 320 average, so let's see. Ed Kranepool versus lefties. Let me see, Dom Smith. versus lefties is 250 versus righties 271. Yeah, this is the first base situation. Ed Kranepool might have to be replaced. I've got Dave Magadan in the reserves that I might swap him in there, but we'll see. So let's go back to our lineups here. And so, yeah, Kranepool, he's on the hot seat. Starling Marte, 220 average. 220 average and 4 homers, 28 ribbies, 30 runs, and let's see, 17 stolen bases. Not bad. Jay Payton with a 216 average. He's not doing particularly great. Let's see. Let me see his splits. Yeah, he's batting 222 versus lefties and 215 versus righties, which is not good. So, yeah. So, might have to do something about him at some point, but we'll see. So he's got, 216, 4 homers, 31 RBIs, and then Howard Johnson, 200. He's batting 200, 9 homers, 28 RBIs, and let's see, 15 doubles, not bad. Jay Payton has 14 doubles, I forgot to mention. And 9 homers, not terrible. We're much lower on homers, as you can see, compared to last year, which is disappointing. And then Duffy Dyer, he's batting 155, but he's a defensive replacement, so I don't really care about his average. 1 homer, 8 RBIs, and 1 double, so that's perfectly fine. Now, Howard Johnson is also on the hot seat a little bit, not just because his hitting, but his fielding isn't that great. So I'm going to change stats to fielding. I don't know if you can see. Oh, yeah, you can see it. All right, good. So his defense is actually a little bit better this year so far, but he's got 7 errors. Reyes has 10. McNeil has 10. McEwing has 18 errors, which is disastrous. So, yeah, McEwing probably could be better. Maybe I have to put him in a different position. What I could do is put Pete Alonso at first base. I could try Pete Alonso at first and then mess around with the DH more so I don't have to have the platoon. That could work. Yeah, his defense. Let's see. Yeah, Kranepool's defense isn't good. And who is the other first baseman? Dom Smith. His defense is 63. Yeah, not great, but not horrible either. All right, so let's see. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, so I was showing you the errors. So Howard Johnson, he's not batting very well right now. So 152 against lefties and 212 versus righties. And so that's going to put him on the hot seat. And yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with Howard Johnson, but we do have a third baseman on the rise from the future, from new cars being added, so we'll see about that. But without spending too much time on the lineups, I might mess with that off the recording because we're almost closing in on an hour here, so I don't want to spend too much time on that. So let's get right to my standings. So after hearing all of that, How well do you think my team is right now? I will give you a special guess in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so we lost our most recent game. Rarely blew a save, unfortunately, so that's fine, but let's go to our standings. So we are 56 and 39, which is a very, very good record. And as I've said before, this number here, where my cursor is not accurate. It's a bug. They haven't fixed it yet for some reason. I don't know why, but let's go to the standings and see where we are. So we're in the AC East division right here, and we have 56 and 39, and there's one team behind us. Right behind us, the Westport Warriors, and they have 55 and 40. So we've actually been battling all season for this division spot. It's been like a 1-game difference for a very long time. So this might be a battle until the end of the season for the division. Let's see how we fare in the wild card. Westport Warriors right behind us. They've got the top wild card with a +8. So, and then the Sunshine, whatever. All right, we got a simulation coming in, so you'll get a live sim. And we got a win. Not bad, not bad. Frank Viola got a win. Let's see what he pitched. 3 earned runs over 6 2/3. Not bad. So, yeah, so that's not bad. Another win there. And let's go back to our standings. Okay. So we're 57-39 now, and we moved down on the league. Did we move down? I don't think we did. All right, so Whitesport's now +9. So the wild card position seems like if I somehow get caught on the wild card, then on the division, then I'll have the wild card as a cushion, so that's fine. And so we have we're only 2 games back of the best team in our conference, which is the Flagstaff Gumbies. They've got 59 wins, and on the other side, they've got a pretty strong conference. The best team's got 65 wins. The Rocky Mountain Vibes, Langley Falls, Bazooka Sharks got 56. The Warwick Night Owls got 55. And the Cream City Brave Brewers got 52. And then the Gulf Shores Dolphins got 52. So they're not... and then 51 is the next team, the Anytown Bat Boys. And the third team in our division, in our conference, only has 47. So their conference is slightly stronger, actually. Not as strong as I had originally thought, just by glance. And the relegation situation, it's the top 12. So we're in a very good spot to move on next season, so that should be interesting. And what else? So we might be moving Dave Magadan into that first baseman spot, or the DH maybe. We'll see, but probably first base. And yeah, it's Could be infield arm, infield range. Yeah. So Dave Magadan might be put in very, very soon. And from the third base perspective, I've got Lenny Randle now. I don't know if I showed him off, but he was cheap. And so Lenny Randle's here, and I can put him at third base if I want to. He's got very good defensive stats, by the way. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted him. And there was another guy. I don't think I have any other guys that I wanted to show you. But as I told you, they added some new players. The future legends here. Ronnie Mauricio, 2022. And let's see. So the Ronnie Mauricio here is found in packs, and this card could be our new third baseman. Potentially. We'll see. But I'm not going to be cracking open 111 packs just for that card. I could probably just buy them eventually. It's not urgent. And so, yeah, the 111 packs you see are not going to get opened until there's a really, really good card that I need in the packs. That are like 100 or a diamond or something like that. So those 111 packs not getting touched in this session until, so probably not until at least last week, at least until next week, I mean. So yeah, don't expect the packs to get opened anytime soon, because yeah, I also have 45,000 in the bank, so I can always get things as well, so that's not a problem. So yeah, anyway, this video has gone much longer than I anticipated, and so I just want to thank you for watching my update video in the Bronze League, and if you have not done so already, don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. I've got my entire playlist for my out of the park perfect team in the description. If you just want to follow along with this, you can just save that link if you want. Subscribing and liking would also help and make me very, very happy. And if you really want to make me happy, you can subscribe to my newsletter. And I should have a newsletter coming out very, very soon. I'm a little behind, but it's a digest format newsletter. I give reviews, my game playthrough schedule, and it has a short cast attached to it that I do sporadically. So if you want to support me in the best way that you want to, for free, you don't have to spend any money. Get everything that I do in your mailbox. I put all my YouTube links, all my YouTube playlist links there, so you won't miss anything. And so that's my, I'm actually a better writer than a speaker and a video maker, so you get me at my best when you subscribe to my newsletter. So I appreciate that, and that ends my Out of the Park Baseball Perfect Team Mets Realm Theme Team update. I want to thank you for watching, and have a good night. Have a good day.